Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how I'm going to make an improved version of this grounds bin for my coffee grinder to work better with my AeroPress. Let's get started. The existing bin for the grounds is really big, which makes it messy to fill up my AeroPress. To improve this process, I will be making a new grounds bin that fits the AeroPress and funnels the grounds directly into it. The first step is to create the pattern that will be used to make the mold. I cut out the front panel of the grounds bin so that I can use the remainder for the outside dimensions of the pattern. I then sanded away all of the rough patches. Next, I shaped the mold pattern with modeling clay and repurposed plastic sheets. And now that I have the pattern, it's time to pour the mold. I applied mold release, then mixed the silicone rubber and poured it onto the pattern. But as you're about to see, I forgot to put the block in place that I had planned to use to minimize my silicone usage, so I had to attempt to put it into place after the silicone was already poured. After the silicone rubber had cured, the clay and acrylic sheets are removed to reveal the bottom half of the mold. I reattached the acrylic sheets, applied more mold release, then poured the silicone to make the top half of the mold. Once the silicone cured and the acrylic was removed, the mold is ready. Unfortunately, there was a small hole in the corner from the first pour because the block I stuck in was too close to the side. After this, I attempted to do a quick patch job and cover the hole with masking tape, which did in fact prevent a leak later on. Now that we have the mold, we can cast the new part out of our 2-part polyurethane resin. The mold is prepped with mold release, and the resin is mixed and poured into the mold. This resin set very quickly, and I didn't pour it fast enough, so as you can see, it started to cure in the cup before the mold was completely filled. Unfortunately, the masking tape patch job on the mold did stick to the part, so the mold developed a sizable tear when removing it. The resin did not fill the mold before it started to harden, but the missing section is not critical to the part's function. Since the mold was torn, it couldn't be reused to make another part. The final step is to apply the FDA-compliant epoxy coating to ensure that no toxic compounds from the resin contaminate the coffee grounds. Once the epoxy has cured, the new component is ready to use. The tolerances are not tight enough to hold the AeroPress in place, but it still does the trick.